Political analyst Dr Ntsikelelo Breakfast joins me from Gqeberha. Doctor, thank you very much for joining me for some analysis on the events of the past 2 days. So I want to start off with the EFF. We need agitators. As much as their disruptions might cause us discomfort, sometimes they highlight very important issues. But specifically in relation to the conduct of EFF MPs over the past 2 days, we also have to ask ourselves, surely our democracy is robust enough and there's robust enough debate around key issues that we don't need this kind of level of disruption, especially in the kinds of engagements where, we're hearing from the president about key issues.
Yeah, so I think the role of opposition parties is to hold those in power accountable. And we must commend them for a good job well done in that regard, including the EFF. However, I think the EFF of late has gone overboard in terms of their approach because they are making it overt to all and sundry that there is more to this than meets the eye. If you have a strategy, I think you need to implement it in a very covert fashion. Because the danger in what they are doing is that they are making room for the public to see President Ramaphosa as a victim and to see them as people who are at fault. So the strategy that they are employing, it might backfire on them. I think the timing in the domain of politics is very symbolic, because the timing in which you respond to the battlefield determines the outcome of the war. So both factions, Ramaphosa and the RET faction, I think they are engaging in operations of war. I'm referring to the suspension of the public protector. That was an ambush. In the same way, I think the allegations of the money that was stolen on farm, that is also an ambush. So these are conflicts of the ANC which are playing themselves out in the public domain.
I really enjoy your metaphor of warfare because that's ultimately what it comes down to. Who do you think is going to be the biggest, or are going to be the biggest victims in the long run?
I think it's us as the public, because we are caught in the crossfire. These factional battles have nothing to do with the strategic direction of the country. Politicians in general, they don't want to let go of power because power, it protects you. If you belong to a right faction that is at the helm of power, you can do as you please. People will turn a blind eye to you. And then if you belong to the wrong faction, and then law enforcement agencies might be unleashed on you. So those are some of the dynamics that are at play. So these factional battles have nothing to do with the development of the country, waging a war on corruption or on issues of development and so on.
Let's look at one of the most current skirmishes, to continue with your metaphor, and that's this issue of the Farmgate scandal. And ultimately, at the heart of that is the step-aside rule, is it not?
Yes, look, that's why I said in the beginning, the timing in which you respond to the battlefield determines the outcome. Because let's face it, the guy that instituted these charges or unveiled these allegations did not do that in good faith, because if he had done so, he would have done that long time ago. So he waited for this time deliberately because he knows the conference of the ANC is just around the corner. So he knows the possibility is that the step-aside principle, it might kick in, meaning that the president will not be able to stand for a second term. So that is a strategy at play. But I think the problem with the EFF and the RET forces is that they are making it obvious that they are leading a political onslaught against Ramaphosa. And I think that strategy might backfire on them, because they are, whether you like it or not, when you are analyzing your political opponents, you need to look at two things. You need to look at the strong points and the weaknesses. So it doesn't mean that because you don't like Ramaphosa, he's a stupid a person. So he does have strong points. No wonder he has responded the way he has in terms of suspending the public protector.
Do you think, because the president very clearly stated today that his suspension of the public protector has had a long lead up, that it is by no means a knee-jerk reaction, that is completely unrelated to the Farmgate scandal or claims made against him. Do you believe that?
Not at all. I think it's a political move, and I mean, you can't blame him for that, because he has been under siege, under attack. I'm sure those of his own behind closed doors, they must have told him that this softy approach of his, of trying to to keep quiet in the name of peace, is not doing him any favor. No wonder it's to unleash this. You see, you must remember that the beauty of an ambush is that when you unleash an ambush, you are able to catch the opponent off guard. So I'm sure this is a shock to the faction of RET.
Are you saying that you see the public protector as one of the foot soldiers of the RET faction?
Look, I mean, let's face it, she has lost a lot of cases. She has been described as someone who's not acting in good faith. People say that Judge Zondo is a politician. If you make that argument, I think you must be fair and square, and also say that even the public protector is also a politician. I don't think that she has acted in good faith. I think she's aligned to the faction of radical economic trends. I mean, that is obvious. In one of her findings, she said that there must be, the implementation of nationalization at APSA, and she spoke about radical economic trends. I mean, the facts, they speak for themselves. That is obvious.
Thank you so much for your insights. That was political analyst Dr Ntsikelelo Breakfast, giving us his take on the events of the last 2 days.